You're wasting money on Google Ads because you've been optimizing the wrong things. I've personally managed over 300,000 per month just on Google Ads across multiple clients in dozens of industries and verticals. And today I'm going to show you the exact framework that I've used to blow up brands with Google Ads, whether you're in the B2B, e-commerce, local, or SaaS business. While most people running Google Ads make random tweaks, hoping that something sticks, this exact strategy gives you predictable scale without the guesswork. So here's what you'll learn in today's video. You'll discover the exact account and campaign structures that I use. You'll also discover how I increase and scale budgets without worrying about overspending and spike in ad spend. You'll also discover the exact bidding sequence that maximize conversions and the creative design and copy testing process that keep campaigns profitable. Also reveal the one setup mistake that kills your ability to scale. You'll also discover the single metric that tells you when to push spend higher and the type of campaign that prints money when everything else stalls. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to share with you an actual client case study. I'm just blurring out information because of privacy reasons, but as you can see here, this is an actual dashboard. So this particular client was actually getting, for 2023, they had a pause. I'm going to show you guys before they kind of start working with me. And as you can see here, they're getting like $100, even like $400 cost per conversion. So they're paying almost $400 just to get one lead, which again, what happened was obviously that's not sustainable. They paused running Google Ads at the end of May. No one's kind of able to solve that problem. They were struggling with running Google Ads, and then they kind of came back around October 2023. So it's almost like 2 years now that they've been working with me, and we've just massively grown their business. And as you can see here, right away, what I've been able to do was that drop the cost per conversion to around $5. The highest is around like 23. Of course, when you're testing out, there's an $82 CPA here, but I'm not concerned because again, I know that I can hit that $20 cost per lead. That's the 2023 stat. Kind of want to lay down the picture of how I'm able to scale this. This is the latest stat from January 1 to October 29, 2025. And as you can see here, we've spent almost 50,000, slightly 44K from 300 plus conversions in 2023. We're now like almost like 5x, 6x the total number of conversions to 2,130 plus leads. And as you can see here, the cost per acquisition is around $20.74, which is way down from that 400, 150 cost per lead that we initially saw way back in 2023. And usually after 2 years, you should have expected the cost per acquisition or the cost per lead to actually go up. But again, as I want to show you in the next couple of minutes, that's not the case. You don't need to be overpaying Google to generate massive leads for your business. This particular client of mine has definitely quadrupled the volume of leads coming into his business, and it definitely has grown their business massively. And in this video, I want to share with you guys what I did step by step so that you can learn from me. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Okay guys, so let's get started. I'm gonna do it the presentation style. Before we get started, my name is Ryan from Traffic Salad. And if you're currently running Google Ads and you would like a second pair of eyes on your Google Ads account, you might be missing, what might be the opportunities that you might not have identified. I'm offering a free audit on your paid ads account. So make sure that you book a call, grab that free audit. But if you also want to work with me on how to scale your Google Ads account, there's a link in this video description. Make sure you check it out as well. So let's dive right in. So I created this Google Ads scaling blueprint because most of the time, if you're already spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on Google Ads, that requires a different strategy when it comes to scaling. But I would say 90% of the time, people who became my client or start working with, they're usually starting out from Google Ads from zero ad spend, or maybe a couple of ad spend, maybe $1,000 to $2,000 per month in terms of ads, and they would like to scale it. They would like to continue getting more sales, getting more leads from Google Ads. And usually what I found out is that is the most challenging part. If you give your Google Ads account to someone, to a media buyer, to a junior media buyer who doesn't have the experience to actually scale accounts that are starting from scratch, most of the time with what just I've shown you in the first part of this video, usually it ends up eating a lot of your budget, getting a lot of high cost per leads or cost per acquisition, and really not just scaling your accounts and just wasting a lot of ad budgets, right? I want to give you guys the exact framework that I use, as the exact blueprint that I use to scale accounts on Google Ads. Before we get started, I want to quickly talk about the validation milestone. Now, scaling from 0 to 100 per day on Google Ads is not about the ad spend that you're spending. Like 100 per day is around 3,000 per month. When you've proven that you can generate sales and leads from Google Ads and actually grown your business, you've actually breaking even, at least like you've gotten at least 1x ROAS, that's when you go to the next phase, or the foundation phase. This lays down the right groundwork so that you can continue scaling, continue using Google Ads to grow your business. And because Google Ads is very data driven, like you can look at the numbers, you can look at what's working and what's not working, and you can identify the exact areas of opportunities, as well as turn off areas that are just wasting your budgets away. Here's step one. What I usually do is I never almost use the homepage as an initial start when it comes to running paid ads. I usually use what's called landing pages. Now, a lot of people who are running Google Ads, they usually drive traffic to the homepage because it is the main page, but that is really the fastest way to burn budget. Because I'll give an example. You might have different keywords, and if you're all driving those keywords with different intent to the homepage, even though they're kind of mentioned in your homepage, or maybe they're hidden in your navigation menu, it still wouldn't convert as good as when you have your own landing page. Here's why landing pages win. Dedicated landing pages are conversion machines. You can control what's inside your landing page. You can remove what is not necessary. You can match the intent of the visitor. You can eliminate all the distractions. You don't add social media buttons in your landing page because you don't want people to be clicking and just visiting those social media pages. And it allows you to test things rapidly. One of the favorite things that I do use with landing pages is the ability to just split test without changing the website, because again, with landing page you can control everything. 80-90% rule, most of the time your landing page will beat your homepage, so which is why you want to use it. And that's basically the first strategy that I did for this particular client. They're driving traffic to their homepage, which I realized right away it's not going to work. We need to create separate landing pages in order for us to get the cost per lead that we would like, and for Google to actually give your account a good quality score so that you can continue getting low cost per clicks and higher conversion rates and overall better ROAS for your Google Ads account. Here's what a lot of people don't talk about. Like, they think that with Google Ads, you can just run $10, $20 per day. Yes, you can do that. But if you want to scale and you want to gather data, I recommend that you chase or get conversions as fast as you can. Like in 30 days, if you can get like the actual conversion. So let's say if you're selling like purchase conversions, you're an e-commerce store, you're selling purchases, that would be your primary conversion goal. You want to get 30 purchases and switch to target CPA if you're not yet using target CPA bidding. And then the moment you hit 50 conversions within, let's say, a 30-day period, that's when you want to leverage target ROAS, because target ROAS is value-based bidding. I personally believe, in my opinion, that is the best bidding strategy to get the highest quality of lead and customer from Google Ads, because that type of bidding allows for machine learning to actually be layered on top of that targeting. So Google kind of knows that if that person has a higher chance of buying whatever it is that you're selling, and they also have the ability to see, Google also has the ability to see if that person has like a higher value, it's more likely to purchase more items from you in the future. Now, this should be target ROAS and not target CPA. So target CPA and target ROAS would always win, because again, they leverage machine learning. And what you want to do is you want to switch to machine learning, but in order for you to be able to use it properly, again, you need to feed the algorithm enough data. You need to feed it at least 30 for target CPA and at least 50 conversions if you want to optimize for target ROAS bidding. Step 3. So a lot of people launch like cold type of keywords, like very broad keywords, which is a very big mistake. Again, if you want to get that 30 to 50 conversions right away, you start with the lowest hanging fruits. You start with the types of campaigns that would drive those conversions. So together with the landing page that we have, you're also launching this lowest hanging fruit of campaigns. These are the campaigns that are like, number one, your branded campaigns. People who are searching for the name of your product, for the name of your business, for the name of your company, launch a branded campaign targeting those keywords, because again, you want to capture those people who are searching your branding, will most likely be a warm audience, which would convert much higher. So you definitely want to launch those. And then you want to launch high intent keywords on a specific campaign. But again, you want these keywords to be the best types of keywords that would most likely convert. And then finally, you can also launch remarketing campaigns, because again, once you've launched these campaigns that would most likely convert, that would build momentum in your account. That would allow you to hit 30 to 50 conversions quickly. And that would help you open up machine learning targeting, machine learning optimization, which will allow your campaign to scale much faster than if you don't use this type of strategy. Step 4. If you haven't heard of Eugene Schwartz, he talked about the different stages of awareness. The different stages of awareness are unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, and then most aware. So as you go down further that stages of awareness, you'll be able to get more people to actually buy. So if you're in that most aware, meaning they are aware of your brand, they are aware of the products or service that you're selling, they are most likely to buy and convert because again, they are a warm audience. They know, like, and trust you already. Now, product aware, they might not know about your particular company, but they know about the product that you're selling or the service that you're selling. So they're product aware. Now, solution aware, this is when people already know the solution, but they don't know what they need to buy. So in order for them to actually convert, you need to convince them that your product, your company is the best solution now. So for problem aware, these are people who has a current problem right now, but doesn't know the best solution yet. So in this type of like stage of awareness, it's mostly informational. So people are looking for information. If you try to sell them during this stage, it would probably not convert really well. So the way that you scale is you want to maximize the conversions and campaigns that are at the lowest level of awareness. So the most aware, and then product aware, solution aware, and you basically open up. Now, you don't target unaware types of audiences because again, they are very, very difficult to convert. So I usually just stop in the solution aware or on the problem aware. Now, if the product is really doing really well, and you've already maximized the solution aware audiences or the product aware and then the most aware audiences, then that's when you open up on the problem aware audiences, because that would give you a lot of volume. But again, you have to be cautious that usually when they're just looking for information, they're not yet ready to buy. So again, when you're running Google Ads and ROAS is important, you might not want to go to the higher level of stages of awareness, and you might just want to continue maximizing conversions on those lower levels of awareness. Step 5, this is where the fun really starts. Now, once you've gathered a lot of data, you just turn or scale up the ones that are working and then cut off the ones that are not working. And this is really where the fun of being a media buyer starts, is because again, you kind of have a different hypothesis, you kind of have different ideas. What if I try this? What if I don't try this? What if I pause this? I turn this on? What are the results? And you want to also allow enough time. Like if you're trying to test a particular campaign, but you're only doing it in 1 to 2 days, or that data analysis might not be enough, you want to give at least 7 to 14 days for like an initial test. And obviously you don't want it to like be testing like 6 months to a year to kind of make a decision or a test. Like you want those, like I would say between 7 to 30 days, like an test windows would be enough to kind of create an hypothesis whether this is working or not. Okay, so one of the strategies that you can also use, you can also segment by geography. Now, this is an easy way to start testing what's working or not. And I'll give you one example. For example, you initially targeted the United States. Once you have enough data, once you have enough traffic, once enough conversions comes in, you'll notice that some of the states have very good metrics. They might have good CPC, they may have good cost per acquisition, and then some states, they might be a little bit more competitive, would have a higher CPA or would have a higher cost per click. So what do? You definitely don't want to continue using the same United States targeting and then start launching like specific geo-targeted campaigns. Let's say Texas has a much higher conversion rate and a lower cost per lead than, let's say, in New York. Then you want to put more budget on Texas rather than rather than having the same budgets between New York and Texas. So that is one strategy, because again, it allows you now to start giving more budgets on campaigns that are working and then removing a campaign and then optimizing the ones that were not working. And if it doesn't really work, you can always pause it. Let's say the demographic, the conversions coming from Alaska, the state of Alaska is really, really low. So just as an example, then you can definitely exclude that. You can definitely remove that. Step 7. Now, this is something that a lot of inexperienced media buyers don't know what to do, is they target everyone. They target new and existing customers, even like previews, buyers. And if you're trying to scale, you need new users to come into your funnel. You need new users to buy your products and services. So there are settings inside your Google Ads account that would allow you to target new users. Number one is by using exclusions or exclusion list. So you can upload your own list of exclusion, and you're telling Google, I don't want you to show your ads on these people. You can also create like your exclusion targeting or your exclusion audiences by using tags or audiences inside Google Analytics 4. And there are also some settings within your campaign wherein you're telling Google, I want you to focus on like new users and new customer acquisition, so that you would just continuously attract new customers users rather than showing your ads on people who have already bought, who have already become a lead or like part of your remarketing audiences. So let me just give you guys a quick recap of how you can scale with Google Ads. Number one, you want to build landing pages, you want to drive conversions fast, you want to start with low hanging fruits, you want to climb the awareness ladder, you want to scale the winners, you want to cut the losers, you want to segment by geography, and last but not the least, you want to target new users. If you're interested to know why your Google Ads are not scaling and how to fix it, watch the next video. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.